our special guest this evening. I hope everybody's ready. The one and only Melvin Riley's in the house. What's going on, man?
Everything. How you doing, buddy? How you doing?
There it is. Melvin Riley's in the house.
Yes, yes.
Man, look at you. Look at you. So, am I like in a time warp or something? You look exactly the same as you did in 19.
Oh, okay. Well, good. I try to stay a little young, man. It's been a lot of years in the music business, man. It can do things to you.
Oh man, I know, man. And you've got so many stories too. It's so much fun. And I was trying to, find some things that maybe you don't normally talk about. Like, matter of fact, I heard some word that you're a Steelers fan.
Ooh, I see that Atlanta cup. Okay, let me go get my Steelers cup right here. Man, I've been a Steelers fan. Man, I've been a Steelers fan since I was like 7 years old, 8 years old. And my dad was a football coach. And the first game that I really ever watched was the Minnesota Vikings, Pittsburgh Steelers championship. Wow. And my father, and I said, well, Dad, who do you think is going to win? He said, you pick a team. And so I picked the Pittsburgh Steelers. They won. And I have been a Steeler man since I was like 7, 8 years old.
Yeah, and that changes everything. I mean, that really is. There's always like a source story that has to do with either family or something else that normally happens that kind of gets you. It gets you involved, and it's like, oh yeah, now I'm sold. I'm a fan.
I was sold on the Steelers, man, and I've always been, man. That is some serious talk around the crib.
Oh yeah, I bet because my daughter, we went to they changed their name, but they had a minor league baseball team that played here in Gwinnett County, in Georgia, outside of Atlanta, called the Gwinnett Braves. And It wasn't the Atlanta Braves, but it was the Gwinnett Braves. And her first game that she goes to, you can get really, really great seats in those minor league games. And we actually somehow we got front row, which was like a $15 ticket. It was like, okay. But we get front row. And not only does she get the autograph of the mascot, but then one of the Gwinnett Braves comes over, gives her a ball. Then she gets it autographed by like 3 different people. And at that point, now she's like a baseball fanatic. And that's that's it. That's what happens.
And how old is she again?
Now she's 12. Yeah, 12, but she's obsessed. Now she just talks baseball all the time. It's like, okay. Nice. I have to ask her what the World Series scores is.
Right. Right.
But I heard that. Let me do a proper introduction, ladies and gentlemen. Melvin Riley from Ready for the World is here with us today. Man, it's such an honor to have you, man.
Thank you for having me, man. It's an honor to be on the show, man. Looking forward to it.
Man, it's been on. So I mean, it's cool. I know we were talking about football, and everybody's kind of was making fun of me during the pre-show that I was sporting a Falcons mug, because it's like if there's any year that you can show support for the Falcons, this is it.
you are going to catch it this year.
Well, the Super Bowl was funny because when they went to the Super Bowl, we had, and I know we're talking about football for some reason, but when the day before, when I was working at that time, I was working for YP in Atlanta, and the day before the Super Bowl, everybody was wearing their Falcons gear. Everybody, there was red and black everywhere in that building. Yeah. The day, and there's talking about hundreds and hundreds of people at this building. The day after the Super Bowl, I was the only one who showed up in a Julio Jones jersey walking. I was the only one that was sporting anything. Nobody was wearing anything. It was like, really, people? Really?
Yeah, they jumped out real quick, huh?
Yeah. I mean, as a Steelers fan, that pain.
I'm diehard, man. Even if they lose, whatever, man, I'm just, forever.
Yeah, let's see. We got all these people that say, Jill Norman says, "Go Steelers."
even my mailman is a Steeler fan.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, we got some comments here too. Chris is saying he don't age. Are you able to see? The chat area at all?
I'm not able to see the chat. Well, you know what? He don't age. I do see Krista Lawler.
Oh yeah. So but there's a whole entire chat area, and I don't know how. I've tried to turn it on for folks, but
okay.
So cool. Lots of different people. Sonia says hi, Melvin.
Hello, Sonia.
Yeah, Karen was feeling my pain. Still painful memories of that Super Bowl. Yeah, I was glad to see him switch teams because it made it at least palpable to watch the Patriots again. Like, every single time the Patriots was on, I was like, I just want them to lose. I don't care who they're playing. I just
Right.
But anyways, man, it's let's talk ready for the world stuff, man, because and on top of that, you know, the fact of the matter is that you've got some brand new stuff that's coming. I've actually preloaded I preloaded 2 songs that I had, which were Tattoo and Rain.
Okay.
And I've got those loaded up. So we're going to talk a little bit about those too, but you know, obviously there's a benefit to having you on the show here, and that's talking about Ready for the World. And I still remember when Oh Sheila came out and everybody was losing their mind going, oh my gosh. And I never once when I heard the song, I knew who it was because I was like, oh, who is that? And it was like Ready for the World. So there was never a point in my understanding of the song and once hearing the song did I ever think it was Prince. Never. Not that if I didn't look it up, maybe you could have tricked me into thinking it was Prince.
Yeah.
But I never thought it was Prince, but I heard it everywhere. Oh my God, you hear that new Prince song, Oh Sheila? It's so amazing. And I know you guys were getting those types of comparisons all of the time. And when, you know, and that wasn't your first single, was that? What was the single that preceded that one?
The first single was Tonight, slow song.
Right.
And then Deep Inside Your Love came after Tonight. So Oh Sheila was actually our 3rd single.
Yeah, so you had a little bit of traction though. So
yeah,
but I think the traction that you guys were getting at that point were very much specifically R&B radio. So there wasn't
R&B,
a whole bunch that was good. Yeah.
Love ballads. Yeah.
Yeah. So there wasn't a whole bunch that was going on there that, you know, it takes a lot of time to do that circuit and really kind of get traction because that's a tough crowd.
Back then, yeah.
And once they kind of get latched into certain artists and especially the old school folks, somebody new coming in to kind of disrupt everything is very, very few and far between. And then when Oh Sheila hit, you guys broke all kinds of records and just were hitting. So, and I know you were hearing those comparisons to Prince, as you can see from the office here. It's just insane how much, you know, we're huge Prince fans. Obviously,
I love that office, man. I love that office.
It's lots of stuff here. I'll give you a tour one day. Next time you're in Atlanta. You were in Atlanta not too long ago, and I was like, I wish I would have known. I would have had him over.
Next time, man, I have to check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me know. But so, what was going through your head when you would hear people say, "Oh, that," because I know you heard those comparisons. Was it an intentional thing or what?
I think that a lot of the influences back then, you know, George Clinton, Parliament, Prince, Cameo. When you listen growing up, a lot of things kind of like resonate in you when you're creating a song or making a beat or a melody. Sometimes something that you've heard a while ago influences you. So it may be a combination of what you're feeling and what has risen up into you from Cameo or Parliament or Prince or whomever. So when I did Oh Sheila, I was actually like 16, 17 years old. And I was in my basement and I had a keyboard and I just started playing So I was like, okay, I like what this sounds like, but I didn't have anything to go with it. So I had Oh Sheila, Oh Lisa, a lot of different names before I came and put the Oh Sheila part with that. And I've always been a melody guy. And so I just kind of brought that whole thing together, not even thinking so much of Prince at the time, but the influence and the bass line and the whole nine kind of resonated in me and it came out. And so the comparison, even Sheila E and I were at I think we were at the American Music Awards. And she was like, is that about me? And I was like, no, I actually didn't write it about Sheila E. I'm actually writing it about, it could have been any name, but Sheila worked out. And so we got compared, not only for the sound of Oh Sheila, but the fact that everybody thought it was about Sheila E. Yeah. And that was amazing. Prince and I sat down at a club called Tramps, and we hung out for about 35, 45 minutes. And he never brought up the fact that it sounded like, he just like, man, you guys sound amazing. So coming from Prince, I'm taking that compliment.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's cool. So what? That's actually great, because I was going to ask you if you had any, Prince and Sheila E stories, because one of the Noel says they were my jam in high school, besides Prince, obviously, right? And yeah, so and everybody's kind of naming their favorite songs. Francesca's "Let Me Love You Down." That's a great song. It's just, I know that the story goes is that Prince and Sheila E were together in a limousine, and they had not heard "Oh Sheila" yet. And it came on the radio, and Sheila turned to Prince and said, "When did you write that?" And he turned to her and said, "I didn't." And so that was a story that I had heard. So I was wondering if there were any Prince and Sheila E interactions at all. I mean, what was the discussion with Prince about for 35-40 minutes?
Well, we were at a club called Tramps in Beverly Hills. It's back then it was a celebrity club. And I was in town. We were on tour. And so we were there, I think, doing promotion. We had taken off maybe a week off of the tour to do a lot of stuff up at MCA Records. And so my security was like, hey, let's just go to this club. He took me to this club called Tramps. And Prince was there, Ken Norton, Julian Lennon. So I'm looking all around. I'm like, man, everybody is in this place. And so at the time, Chick was Prince's bodyguard. And so my bodyguard, which was Nate, went over to Chick and it said, hey, Melvin wants to meet Prince and blah, blah, blah. So Prince was like, come on over, man, come sit down. And a lot of people say Prince was shy, but whatever. Not at all. Not with me. We had a conversation straight up. He talked up more than I did. And that was the thing. It was like a beautiful reunion or a meeting of two minds, musical minds. And, I'll forever cherish, sitting down. I met him again in Palladium in New York, but we really sat down and had a good chat at the club Tramps, man. And he never mentioned about the song "Oh Sheila." He just said, you guys are doing some great work, man. I was like, you doing great work. And it was right before Under the Cherry Moon came out. So I had heard the movie was coming out. So he was just telling me pretty much that they were in this type of pre-production and this, that, and the other. I'm like, well, I'm looking forward to seeing the movie. So it was right around that time, right before Under the Cherry Moon came out, that we hooked up, man. And there was never any type of, I heard that same story, by the way, that you heard.
Yeah.
But Prince and I, we hit it off really well. I'm great friends with Sheila E's family, her dad, her brothers, Juan, Zena. So I'm good friends with the entire family, man. So it's all good. All good.
Yeah, because I think I saw some clips as well of you and the Escovedos kind of doing like jam sessions and stuff. So that's got to be awesome, because you live in California right now?
Back and forth. I have a home in Michigan and out in Cali.
Oh,
so I've been back and forth for 30-something years.
Yeah, staying solid with Michigan. Are we? You guys anywhere near Flint or?
Yeah. I was raised in Flint, Michigan.
Right.
I live outright. Well, I don't live in the city, but I live outside of the city of Flint.
Yeah, that state has been through so much, man. It's definitely changed quite a bit. I did live there in a town called New Haven for a brief part. It was actually, and also in the projects of Detroit for a while too, in the 70s. So
okay.
So it was my memories. Yeah, so my memories of Michigan were very rough.
yeah, Michigan
it was a rough time.
The automotive industry brought a lot of the drama to the Michigan area, not just Flint, but Detroit and the whole Grand Rapids area. But hey, we keep stomping, man.
I don't miss the tornadoes, that's for sure.
Yeah, right.
So, to go down that rabbit hole as far as when I first heard Ready for the World, this was a weird time in my life. And for whatever reason, I left home without a backup plan. Happened to be dating a girl whose friend's father ran a church, an actual church in downtown Atlanta called in Cabbagetown, in downtown Atlanta. And I lived in the loft of this church where the sound room was for the cathedral.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is like some old homeless stuff here. Anyways, but I had a boombox and I had your cassette. And at night in this church, I would take that cassette and I would be blasting Digital Display and all those songs like in the church, and I was dancing up and down the aisles in between the pews and stuff. It was hilarious, man, because I was like obsessed with you guys, because that particular album didn't have any weak songs on it. It was like the selection process that you guys went through. I mean, I was just my favorite song, "I'm the One Who Loves You," just that whole that backmasking. It was just that whole album was just amazing to me, and it was a huge part of my childhood. Even though I was a little bit older at that time, it was just a huge part of my childhood. And it really struck me. And I was like, man, I have to reach out to him and get him on the show. And
I'm so glad, man.
Oh man,
I'm glad that I was able
awesome
to do that.
But one thing I never understood, whose decision was it for the Jheri curls?
Whoa. You know what? Actually, that was good hair. I got Indian, you know.
I had to ask.
Hey, that was the look back then, man. Actually,
I know.
It started in high school, and it just got greasier as we went on. And Willie's mother, who used to do our curls, the best curls ever. You know, and we would go everywhere, and people would be like, "Man, I gotta get that ready for the." Even Jamie Foxx was talking about how he wanted the Melvin Riley curl, and the thing about that curl, you couldn't get it nowhere else. It was Miss Triplet, man, that gave us the best curls in the world. Yes.
Yeah, I used to ride public transportation, so I would see the remnants of Jheri curls quite a bit when I was riding on the bus.
I know you did, yeah, man. That was that era, man. It was so cool to see NWA wearing it, you know, Ice Cube and everybody. And not to give away the documentary, but Ice Cube was in a documentary about Ready for the World. And, you know, he had the curls just like, you know, a whole bunch of other artists did, man. So
let's talk about the documentary. When is this happening? Is it already out? I didn't
know. The documentary, man, I'm waiting. I'm still waiting because it's got a lot of heavy hitters in there. A lot of Ready for the World fans that I was blown away. The producer of the documentary, I don't want to give so much away, but he's got so many heavy hitters in there that are Ready for the World fans that it's unbelievable, man. You know, everywhere from Bud, from Married with Children to man.
I saw a clip. I just got done seeing a clip with Snoop Dogg rolling and jamming to, I think, Digital Display or something, and he was singing along with us. I was going one.
Oh yeah. He's in the documentary as well.
Oh my gosh, that's
Anthony
hilarious.
Anderson, man. It's a whole bunch of guys, man, and girls that I'm so blessed that they are Ready for the World Melvin Riley fans, man.
Yeah,
you're gonna be amazed at all these people.
I can't wait to see it. I'll definitely watch it. Dana says, "Hey, Melvin Riley, what's up, hometown and used to be neighbor?"
Oh, everything is beautiful, Dana.
There are tons of stories here. And of course, we got tons of people here in the chat room. So if anybody has any questions, go ahead and put them up. I will definitely mix them in and put them up. So if you got questions, go ahead and put them up. Nine said, "Wow, he hasn't aged one bit."
Oh, thank you.
So were you actually, now before you actually got into music, you wanted to play football, if I remember correctly. You had aspirations to play. So tell me a little bit about that.
I still do. I think I got a little in me, man. Detroit could use me, you know. But
I think we're past that prime.
Yeah, Detroit. I mean, football is my first love, though. That was my dream. You know, I stopped growing and reality set in. And, you know, after that, I went to college at the age of 17 to be a television broadcaster.
Really?
And so, yeah, I wanted to be that CNN guy. And at 17 is when we got our record deal. So I actually dropped out of college. And that's when we got the record deal. And things jumped off so fast. And my mom and dad, both school teachers, and it was kind of strange to them. It's like, okay, you're following a pipe dream. I mean, the record business, I mean, all right, I understand that, but you're going to go to college and you're going to do blah, blah, blah. So I started off in college, but then our demo tape got heard by the right people. And that's when it blew up, man. And Tonight was the first single that we came out with, but it was on our independent label. So we kind of put the college on back burner when everything started jumping off.
Yeah, it's I know that Mojo in Detroit actually had quite a bit of hand in kind of breaking you guys out. And I know that Mojo actually he supported Prince, from day one. And I know that Detroit was one of Prince's favorite places to play. And, he gave Mojo a lot of exclusives. What was your relationship with Mojo? Did you know him before? Was it just happenstance that he got a hold of your music, or did you have a great management team who was able to get stuff in front of him?
No, man, it was a blessing from God how we met Mojo. We had done our demo tape, 4-song demo tape, and Gordon was like, you know what, we should go and take this demo up to Mojo, because Mojo was one of those DJs that was a star. He was his own star. So we figured if we go ahead and give it to Mojo, see what he thought. Well, ironically, as he was coming in from lunch, we were pulling up. And we didn't even know it was really him, but he was walking in with his bag of lunch. And then we were like, yeah. He's like, what's up? Like, yeah, we're here to see Mojo, because we had never seen Mojo. And he was like, yeah, come on up, man. We was like, can you listen to this demo tape we have? Unbelievably, this guy is like, come on upstairs, let me check it out. He could have been like, no, I've got a show to do. He was like, no, come upstairs, let me check it out. He put the tape on, and he was like, man, I'm putting you guys on tonight as a mystery group. I'm not going to say the name of your group. I'm just going to say that you are a mystery group, and I want to see what the fans say. And the phones lit up all week for tonight.
Tonight.
Yeah, wow. Tonight. You played Tonight, Deep Inside Your Love. I remember staying up all night to listen to it. And he got so many requests. Then he would play it again. Then he would play it again. And it was like, oh, man, unbelievable listening to yourself on the radio at 17, 18 years old.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, absolutely. That's just incredible, especially on a station with that type of reach too. That's just incredible.
Oh, yeah, Detroit, right? Exactly.
Yeah, do you remember what songs were played around you guys before what song came on before he played you?
Dream Boy, The Time.
Wow.
It was in that genre of Morris Day and the Time, Prince. Then he would play Parliament, of course, because Parliament and Prince were his major bang bangs. And so I was just happy to be even in rotation with those type of artists. And we didn't even have a record deal at the time.
Yeah. And the fact that he kind of released you guys as a mystery band, most people probably thought out of the gate, oh, that's Prince.
Probably,
because you probably got some phone calls. It was like, oh, that song's from Prince. Where can I get it? But as we do have some questions in here. I was going to let's see here. Oh my gosh, everything just kind of shifted on me. Eddie says, does Melvin keep in touch with all the fellows from the band? Will there be new music coming from Ready for the World? So 2 questions in one.
Right. Yeah, I keep in touch with, of course, me and John Eaton, the bass player, we tour. So before the COVID situation, we were already going out as Ready for the World, Melvin Riley and Ready for the World. I'll speak with Willie every once in a while, but because of the congestion that went on with the group, it's not a need to, pretty much stay in touch with the other guys because of the havoc that went on. But yeah, myself, John, and Willie, we talk from time to time, but John and I talk all the time because he still goes out on the road with me. I don't know if they'll be doing something. I know the Melvin Riley Project is coming. A lot of people don't understand with the Ready for the World Project, to be honest. And it's something that I stayed away from when we were a band. When we're going, a lot of that Ready for the World that you hear is just me in the studio by myself. And I didn't put that out there back then because there really was no need. But when people say the RFTW or they're going to have a new Ready for the World, whatever, a lot of what you heard that was called Ready for the World was just me in the studio. Love You Down, that's all me in the studio by myself. Can He Do It Like This? That's all me in the studio by myself. There's so many songs. Gently, that's all me by myself in the studio. So being in a group was great, but a lot of times, a lot of the music that you hear is really just Melvin Riley in the studio calling it Ready for the World. A lot of the bass lines or guitar parts like Oh Sheila, that was pretty much all me, and then bringing the group in to do it. So it was always a brotherhood to do a Ready for the World and to do another Ready for the World album. Me going solo was a solo project. I planned on going back and doing another Ready for the World album. So me doing the solo thing was pretty much just a project. But as it is,
right,
we keep it moving.
Yeah, and as far as the second part of that question, will there be new music coming from Ready for the World? Technically, these new songs are Melvin Riley Project, right? These, because I have two in the can right now. There's Tattoo and Rain, which we can definitely take a listen to if you want to take a listen to them. I actually snuck in Tattoo a little bit earlier today on the station. We have our online radio station. I don't know, but it plays 24/7, and I actually snuck Tattoo in there. Yeah, I guess people are just used to me sticking all kinds of stuff in there, so it's never really a surprise. Like, ooh, who's that? It's not like a Mojo scenario where, oh, this is a mystery song. It's, people are used to me doing that, so it actually went well. We didn't, nobody said, oh, what's that? Take that off. It was great. One of the things I can tell you about your voice, when you first started, your vocal chops were really, really good, and it was just you had a really unique tone. And you managed to keep that tone, but you have so much more control now with the newer things that I've heard. You're able to kind of really stay in key really well, and just kind of have, your voice is definitely seasoned. Do you feel like you've come a long way? Because so strong now.
Oh man, I love the Ready for the World vintage stuff that I did, but me as a artist and a producer, it's so much I would go back and change, because the Ready for the World, a lot of people don't know this, the first album is really a demo. We were supposed to go back in and redo the vocals and redo some music parts. So when I'll hear things and I'll cringe because we never got a chance to go back in and redo it, because the record company was like, no. Whatever you're doing, we're going to put it out. Like, we still got to go back in and we got to fix this bass line. I got to fix my vocals on this, that, and the other. Lowell Silas wasn't having it. Gerald Busby wasn't having it. They're like, I understand what you're saying, but it's working. And to this day, I'll hear tones in Tonight. It might be Gently. I'm like, oh man, I can go back and do that again. Yeah. But the spirit, the chemistry on those records are there. So even though I might cringe at some notes or tones that I would have done better if I had a chance to go back and do them, it worked. From millions of albums later sold, I guess they were right. I would have gone back and changed my vocals on a lot. So now I have become more conscious of when I'm in the studio, my vocals have gotten stronger and my understanding of who I am as a vocalist. So I utilize that when I'm in the studio to do the things I want to do.
Yeah, and it was just so raw and I think that was really more of the appeal of the album, was that what you guys had done was just raw, and it was raw and real, and you could hear it was like sitting in the studio listening to you guys just kind of coming up with some of the things. Man,
it was on a 16. We did that album on a 16-track Tascam.
That says it all. India said, "Hey Melvin, what is the story behind Ceramic Girl?"
Ooh, I hope I don't get in trouble for this.
Yeah, no, you won't. This is PG. You can say, actually R. You can say whatever you want.
Ceramic Girl actually comes from when I was in high school. I've never been a guy that liked a lot of makeup. I like more or less natural beauty. And so girls at my 14, 15, 16, they would try to pack on so much makeup back then because they were growing up. They didn't quite know how to put on all the makeup right. So they would kind of look like claymation. And so I just used to be like, oh man, she looks ceramic. So when I wrote Ceramic Girl, it was just saying, you don't need all that makeup. You're beautiful without it. And that's what Ceramic Girl is about.
So there you go. Leslie came in late, so I'm just tuning in. Did Melvin or Ready for the World work with Prince at all? For those who have been tuned in, we found out no, but you guys did actually talk. Did he ever even mention, hey, you should come to the studio? Well, I guess, Paisley, that was right about the time Paisley Park had just been constructed. Did he, it's kind of about, Ms. Miller earlier than that. Did he ever say, hey, we should work on something together at all?
No. When Prince and I sat down and we
that would have been awesome.
Yeah, I think it would have been great, especially, even now if we would have done something, because I admire his thought process when it comes to music and bass and guitar. Excuse me. And it resonates with me as well. But when Prince and I met, it was just more or less a congratulatory conversation. Loving what we were doing, of course, loving what he has done. His entire career was absolutely phenomenal. So we didn't get off into working together, but I'm sure as time would have gone on right now, we probably would have been there. It's almost like Morris Day and I, we stay on contact now more or less than we did back in the 80s and the 90s. You know, we'll go on Instagram and talk back and forth and or text each other. So I think now we've matured. And I think if Prince were still here, it would probably come to something where we would probably end up doing something.
Yeah, that would be a good collaboration. You and Morris Day. I think both of you guys have, at least between the two of you, you absolutely have that recipe that Prince was able to perfect. You know, you bring a lot of the different components, like, you know, the vocal sound and, you know, some of the instrumentation, like, you know, the song I was talking about, "I'm the One Who Loves You," that has that kind of that backmasking, you know, beat to it. Those types of techniques that Prince specialized in that nobody was doing at the time.
Right.
You were able to kind of, even in the beginning, were able to take advantage of some of that stuff. And, you know, Morris obviously has the feel and the
swag.
Yeah, he has the swag for it. So yeah, that'd be a good collab. Brian says, "Hi, Melvin. I'm from Detroit and been a fan since Mojo played tonight like 10 times in a row." Did he really play it 10 times in a row that night?
Man, I'm going to tell you something. I kept hearing that song.
That's great.
I'm like, Mojo, because Mojo, like I said, was a star DJ. You know, he was a celebrity DJ, so he really didn't have to play anything. But when he kept playing tonight over and over again, yeah, I was like, maybe I think he likes this.
He must like, yeah, he would have played it once and be like, sorry, folks, that won't happen again.
And I'm glad he remember Brian. Yeah, you remember that. I was sitting up all night long.
Yeah,
all night long.
He said some of my family
used to hang out with Bernard Terry, huh?
Yeah. And Bernard, yeah, he's from that area. Stacy said, "Hey, Mr. Riley, did you hang out with any of the DeBarges back in the day?"
Chico, man. We didn't hang out, but El DeBarge and I did a few shows together. We always would hang out backstage. Chico gave me one of the biggest compliments I've ever had. You know, he was when he got in a little trouble, he said he was in jail trying to write like me. And I said, man, you know, that was a huge compliment coming from somebody that had gone through a little something. He had been incarcerated. And for him to say, when I was sitting in jail, man, I was sitting there trying to write like you. And I said, that was one of the biggest compliments that I've ever gotten. Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Cause the DeBarges definitely, you know, they kind of came in and out with hits. And, and you never knew which DeBarge it was going to come from. It was like, oh, it's him. Oh, it's
they had really good producers, man.
Yeah,
they had some really good writers and producers that knew what the family had, and they would, you know, it was like kind of like the Jacksons or the Osmond brothers. You just take one of them and get the right music behind them, man. A talented family, man. Very talented.
Absolutely. Kimberlyn, we're going to give you a promo shot here. I'm just wanting to know how I can order some of your clothing line. I'm from Flint, live in Mississippi now, but I want to represent. This is a perfect opportunity right here.
Well, you go right to IamMelvinRiley.com, and the fashion line is off the chain, man. I have to give it up to Renee. And her daughter Ebony has done a phenomenal job, man. If you go to IamMelvinRiley.com, you will see the clothing line, the leggings, the sweatshirts. And what it is memorabilia about the music. And I got a little slogan that says, wear the music. You know how back in the day we would wear the Billy Idol t-shirt or the Beatles or the Jimi Hendrix. And you don't see a whole heavy amount of that. And I want to just say, wear the music. When you got artists that you love, hey, let's represent the hits. You know, we got the old Sheila hats, we got the old Sheila leggings. So hey, wear the music, represent, man. And we're very proud of it. I got to give my shouts out to Renee and Ebony because they did their thing, man.
Yeah, they also said you have a Teespring site, teespring.com/store/Melvin Riley too. So that's awesome. But I think most of the stuff you want, you need to go to I Am Melvin Riley, because some of that stuff is just hot. Brian also threw out, we just had a question from him, but he wanted to throw out that his cousin Dewey was a drummer in Dream Boy. So
okay, all right, yeah. I actually spoke with Jeff Stanton. I would say about a year and a half. Jeff Stanton is the lead singer with Dream Boy. And they had that nice swag as well. And things got busy, got hectic. And I still to this day have to get back with Jeff, because I'm looking forward to working with Jeff Stanton, man. And we laying something down, some swag.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just because I saw some of the swag that you had on. It was a dark brown sweatshirt, and it had like, lettering. It was squared off, but it had lettering going everywhere. I was like, oh man, that sweatshirt's hot. I need to.
I did.
Yeah, it was on. I think it was on your site, or was I'm not sure
that was the black. Yeah, that had the old Sheila, Love You Down. Yeah. Matter of fact, I ought to go show it.
Yeah, that was a hot one. And what we can do is we can actually, we'll do this one more question here, and then I will play one of those tracks. We'll play Tattoo or Rain. We'll play whichever one you want. And then I'll let you run and go grab some stuff to show on video here. For those of you just joining us, I'm so stupid. I don't know why I said this, because we have hundreds and hundreds of people all around the world that are listening on Funked Up that aren't watching the video version. You guys are listening to the audio version. And thank you so much for doing that. And my greatest apologies for not stopping every now and then and saying, you are listening to special guest Melvin Riley from Ready for the World. And he is joining us here. If you want to join in on the conversation and be a part of the chat and hang out and say hello, you can absolutely do that on Facebook, facebook.com/Funkatopia, and also on YouTube as well, and on Twitch TV. So you got 3 places that you can see him. But if you're listening to audio, this is Melvin Riley from Ready for the World. The next question I had here was from Dimitri. Said, I follow you on Instagram. I love you so much. Will you work with Jamie Foxx again?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I believe Jamie Foxx and I are going to probably do a plethora of songs together. Jamie is very talented, man. Musically talented, vocals. So yes, we will work together again.
Yeah, that dude's like a quadruple threat.
Yeah, man. Yes, yes.
All right, so we got 2 brand new songs from you. One's called Tattoo and one is called Rain. Which one of those do you want me to play, and do a little bit of an intro for one of them?
Well, hey, everybody's wearing them, so just lay them right and wear your tattoo from Melvin Riley.
All right, so here it is. We're going to do Tattoo. And again, as I mentioned before, on the video part of this, sometimes I got to chatter over the actual song because of the algorithms that Facebook has of it. Notice, but if you haven't released these yet officially, then Facebook's not going to know what this is. So we're okay, I think. But here it is, Tattoo for Melvin Riley. All you folks on Funked Up are going to be able to hear this song without me chattering over it. And we'll be right back to finish up here with Melvin. And this is one of his songs called Tattoo. Enjoy.
Baby, baby girl, let me see your tattoo, see your tattoo. Baby, baby girl, let me see your tattoo, see your tattoo. All those pretty words written on your skin, tell me where they start, tell me where they end. What they wanna say, let them talk to me. Girl, don't cover up, baby, let me see. It appears to me that you're shy. Well, I don't care, you know I gotta try. Where'd you get them done? Was it in the shy? Out in LA? I gotta say, baby, lately I've been thinking about you all the time. And honey, sugar, they go all the way to your behind. Baby, baby girl, let me see your tattoo, see your tattoo. Baby, baby girl, let me see your tattoo, see your tattoo. All your sexy ink, girl, you've got the taste. Starting from your neck, down to your waist. Up against your skin is where I wanna be. Let me trace the lines of your calligraphy. Baby, lately I've been thinking about you all the time. And honey, sugar, they go all the way to your behind. Baby, baby girl, let me see your tattoo, see your tattoo. Baby, baby girl, let me see your tattoo, see your tattoo. Oh, baby, baby girl, let me see your tattoo, see your tattoo. Baby, baby girl, let me see your tattoo, see your tattoo. Girl, the writing on your skin, so delicate, got me looking. Painted pictures down your back, where do they go? Can I follow? Baby, lately I've been thinking about you. And honey, sugar, y'all know what to say. Hey, put a candle to it. Let me see. Are you addicted to it, girl? Be free. You know what? We're gonna do one of them solos. Tattoo, see your tattoo, baby, baby girl, let me see your tattoo, see your tattoo, baby, baby girl, let me see your tattoo, see your tattoo, baby, baby girl, let me see your tattoo, see your tattoo.
And that was Melvin Riley's song "Tattoo." Man, is so people can already buy that song, correct? Somewhere.
Well, it's a independent release. It may, depending on how the major negotiations work out, be a major release. So right now, it's kind of like a groundswell type of song.
So how many songs do you have together right now?
Right now, I'm ready to launch almost, man. It's a 10-song. It's going to be a 10-song album, as we call it back in the day, album.
This album, right?
Yeah. So it's going to be 10 songs or more, the new Melvin Riley Project. And it's still my whole entire me being me. So if you love the Ready for the World, you're going to get the Ready for the World Melvin Riley.
Nice. Well, I actually, that's the great stuff. And we'll love all the I'm trying, like the experimental stuff that you used to do, but and I know that you kind of hit and you're kind of really found your niche in the R&B realm, and so I'm really looking forward to that stuff because it was one of the few albums that I remember that had the perfect mix of upbeat songs and dance songs, and but the slow jams were just amazing.
Yeah.
So you were just like a master of the slow jam. So looking forward to that. That's a brand new one that you heard called Tattoo. And so you can definitely make sure that you follow him on Facebook so you can stay in tune with everything that's going on as well. I want to talk, well, we got another question here. Eddie said, did you ever work or meet Jesse Johnson?
Oh yeah, man. We toured together with Luther Vandross, Ready for the World, Jesse Johnson, and Ready for the World. We also did a Ready for the World, Whitney Houston, Luther Vandross. But we did maybe a good month with Jesse Johnson review when he came out. And Jesse and I hung out. Yeah, me and Jesse hung out backstage all the time, talking and reminiscing about when I was in high school and how I come and check him out. Jesse was a bad boy. He's still a bad boy. Yeah. I spoke to him about 4 or 5 weeks ago, real briefly. Partner of ours, we were on a 3-way call, and we called Jesse up. And Jesse, we were just talking about some musical things and things like that. So we haven't worked together in the studio, But Jesse, yeah, we toured together for a while, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I was trying to find Cammy's question, which was kind of off kilter. I love these off kilter questions. Sending love from Bloomfield, Indiana. Did you have a guilty pleasure TV show that you binge watched during quarantine?
Probably Lovecraft Country.
Oh, what did you think?
I love it, man.
Yeah, it was good, but the special effects and stuff were crazy.
You really gotta watch it. You gotta watch each episode, I would say probably twice, because there's so many hidden messages in Lovecraft Country. But I think it's well written, a phenomenal. Yeah, that's my show.
Yeah, it was my show. Yeah, that was a really, really good show. They took their opportunity to, I think the producers of that show said, if you want to be heavy-handed a little bit, you can. They were like, okay.
Yeah, and they were.
They went there. They turned it up for sure.
Man.
It was amazing.
I love Lovecraft Country. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Jill says, where can we get the new music?
Well, it's not out yet. We have not released it yet. Depending on how the negotiations go with the majors, I will know if I'm going to release it independently or I'm going to go ahead and go the route of a major. Excuse me. Right now, it's kind of in the air. I don't want to rush it independently if I can take it the major route. And a lot of people don't want to go the major route anymore. But the thing about the major route is you get that massive radio airplay.
Right. But then you also lose a huge chunk of your money, too.
You lose a lot of chunk of your money, but you get that exposure. So what you want to do, if your majors go ahead and blow you out, you just go independent after that. So it's kind of like one of those double-edged swords where the independents, you can't compete with them at radio. Of course, they're going to hog up all the major networks of any kind, television. Yeah, so the majors have it on lockdown. So the project that I'm doing, I think is so good. I probably want to go the major route. But if not, you're going to hear it one way or the other if it's going to be independent or it's going to be on a major.
And I was thinking, some of the structures of songs, I don't know if you are aware of this or not, but this may be something to consider, is that Stevie Wonder just started his own label. And I just found out about this last week, and I was thinking, looking at some of the artists that, he's worked with in the past, I know that your music fits really in line with a lot of the stuff that he did, but his new album is called, his new label is called What the Fuss.
Okay.
And I guess that's the name of the song that he did with Prince. He did a song called What's the Fuss on one of his albums. And so he's reusing that as his album label. But man, I would love to see you on Stevie's label. I bet that'd be fantastic.
It may happen.
Yeah, that'd be great. So Stacey said these Melvin Riley leggings on the website are too cute. We'll have to take a look at them. Do you have the leggings on right now that you could show? No.
The leggings, man. I got the.
Oh, look at, there you go. You got the sweatshirts. There you go. That's what I was talking about, man. That's hot. Oh man, that's nice.
We've got a lot of memorabilia, man. Like I said, it's loving. A lot of people have taken this journey with me, with the musical journey, and we want them to live it with me. I want you to wear the music, man, and celebrate with me.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. Darren says 36 Lovers. Any story behind this song? Also, will there be any unreleased Ready for the World songs from the 80s era?
I have been asked that question to do that, actually, to do some unreleased songs from the 80s, which I may do that. Right now, I'm concentrating on the new music, but I may slip in some of the unreleased 80s music that the people never heard.
That'd be good stuff.
Yeah, 36 Lovers, man. That's basically from the soundtrack Beverly Hills Cops. And 36 Lovers was, there is a story behind that. That's a time when I was a young man doing too much.
Nowadays, 36 not that large of a number.
Right.
I hear these kids bragging about some of these numbers, and I'm like, you're what?
Yeah. That was a time when I was being nice. I was like, let's just give them the idea that 36 Lovers. And what it meant was enjoying hanging out
36 times.
Yeah.
Did Melvin ever do anything with Zap, Microwave, or The Deal? Microwave, we're talking about Myco. Myco's actually, he was on the show a few weeks ago, or maybe it's about a month ago, and he's about to unleash tons of new music,
Nice.
Which I'm really looking forward to because his album, Cooking from the Inside Out, was just ridiculous.
Nice.
I mean, between that and your guys' album, and then, you know, then you had the whole, when you came back on with Merry-Go-Round,
Yeah.
I mean, unbelievable. But did you ever do anything with any of those guys?
Oh man, I spoke with Roger 3 weeks before he died. He was actually coming to Michigan, and Roger and I, for some reason, would always hook up and have these long conversations, whether we were flying back out to California or just on the telephone. And Roger and I spoke, man, we were on the phone probably about an hour, 15 minutes. And 3 weeks later is when he passed away. We toured with Roger and Zap, man, a long time. They would actually open up, and I was like, I don't feel like they should be opening up for Ready for the World, because they brought the heat, and Roger had it out for me. You know, even though me and him were friends and we would talk, he made sure if I'm gonna open up for you, I'm gonna kill you. And so, oh man, Roger used to kill it. I used to be like, he is doing this intentionally just to make me work harder.
Oh yeah, and that's like when the time opened up for Prince. It's like, obviously they're performing Prince's songs, but the way they kind of approached it was, if we're going to be opening for you, you're going to work for it.
There you go. So no, definitely work with Roger and Zap. And The Deal, we did a few shows with The Deal, man, back in the day that were really good, man. That was when LA and Babyface were still in The Deal. And so we worked together, man. We did a lot of shows back in the 80s, man.
Yeah, I can't. I would have loved. I never got an opportunity to see you guys live, and I would have loved to have seen you guys live. And you guys came through Atlanta quite a bit, so that's, you know.
Yeah, that's southern eastern portion. Yeah, we did.
You guys came down there quite a bit. Tell me about this holiday concert. I just put the scroll down there for folks who are asking where you can get that merch. There it is right there. I am melvinriley.com.
I appreciate it.
Tell me about the holiday concert that you guys got coming up. Is it Thanksgiving holiday concert or Christmas?
New Year's Eve.
Oh, so neither. Okay.
New Year's Eve from my home here in Michigan, from my living room. I'm inviting the world into my living room, man. We are going to, it's not going to be us dressed up. It's going to be us banging real live music. It's going to make you feel like you're sitting in the living room. And usually we will be on the road during the holidays, doing shows. It might be a Christmas show. It even might be Halloween that we would do a show, but because of COVID, a lot of artists, of course, are not out there. So I'm saying, hey, we don't have to stop. We can go ahead and hook it up right here at the house and invite the world in on New Year's Eve and bring the new 2021 in with Melvin Riley.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Where can they get tickets for that?
We're actually, my publicist, Renee Harris, is going to make sure, but it's going to be on Melvin Riley TV, where you can get the tickets and the whole nine. The Melvin Riley TV launches, I think, the end of November. And
is that MelvinRileyTV.com or MelvinRiley.tv, or is it?
Yeah, whatever. Same thing. I am MelvinRiley.com. When you go there, you'll see the platform for Melvin Riley TV as well. And the reason why Renee, my publicist, has put it that way, so you have one place to go for all the information that you want. So when you go to IamMelvinRiley.com, you learn about the television show, the clothing line, the new music, the booking, the whole nine. One-stop shop. Come there, man, and you'll find out exactly. We'll post up when the holiday concert and how it's going to go down.
Yeah, make sure that we stay in the loop so that we can put it up on our Facebook page and we can help you sell tickets. And
great.
Absolutely, man. Just let us know, man.
We will.
I can't tell you how much of an honor it was to have you on the show. I know we still got another song to play, but I want you to be able to at least anything that we didn't cover that you wanted me to talk about. Because
I just want to let the fans, I call them my family, more than just being fans, but I call them my musical family because they've been in this journey with me for over 35 years. And I just want to say thank you guys. The music is not going to ever stop. I'm going to keep banging. Voice is always going to be strong. The music is going to be strong. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. So you're always going to hear some music. As long as I'm alive, you're always going to hear some new music from Melvin Riley.
Man, I'm looking forward to it. Jill just asked, are you ever going to write an autobiography? I know you got tons of stories.
I have some scary stories that I am definitely going to do. I've been waiting to really put that together because I want to do a massive music launch. And then I want to tell my story. And the story is going to be a real story.
I bet it will. You got plenty of stories. Oh, my God. Melvin, it is such an honor. Anything you want to say about the song Rain that we're going to close out with? Anything that what's the story behind the song?
The Rain is a mature song. I'm kind of a wild child with my ballads. I'm very sexual with my ballads. I'm very saying how I really feel, what I want to say. But The Rain is one of those intimate, mature love ballads just saying, hey, you can love again. Women, men, whoever been hurt from relationships, you can love again. So come in out of that rain is what I'm telling the young lady in the song. You can love again. So this is Melvin Riley, The Rain.
Yeah. I didn't know you were that good.
Yeah, I'm a groove man. I do my little thing. You didn't know I had it, did you?
No, that's what I call a real date.
A real date? What you talking about a real date? You saying we never been on a real date before?
Baby, bumping and grinding at the Wild Hair hardly qualifies.
Oh, well, you seem to like all that bumping and grinding.
I won't tell the soul that you won't love no more, and you've given up, you've closed the door. You just don't know how much love there is, and how much you've got to give, coming from the rain that's been drowned in your heart. Let me warm you, dry your tears away, coming from the rain, the rain, the rain that's been damping your soul, bringing you down, down, down. I'll be by your side for everything you need. Hold you tight when things won't go right. Let me be the one to ease all your pain. Give you love, remain, coming from the rain that's been drowning your heart. Let me warm you, dry your tears away, coming from the rain, the rain, the rain that's been damping your soul, bringing you down, 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 coming from the rain. I'll be there when it hurts so bad. I'll never let you down. I'll always be around. Wanna be your umbrella, guard you from the rain. I'll always be around. Coming from the rain that's been drowning your heart. Let me warm you, dry your tears away, coming from rain that's been damping your soul, bringing you down, down, down. Coming from the rain that's been drowning your heart. Let me warm you, dry your tears away. Coming from the rain that's been damping your soul, bringing you down, down, down. Coming from the rain, come on inside, that's been drowning your heart. Let me warm you, dry your tears away. Coming.
All right, Melvin.
Yes, sir. I appreciate
Man,
it.
I appreciate you coming on, man. That's awesome.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much. Brother, I am Melvin Riley. You guys want any type of merch, anything that you want, I am Melvin Riley is what you guys need to do. You need to head out there. Melvin, please let me know when you're in Atlanta. You got to come over for dinner.
And I'll make sure Renee gets you all the info before everything swings out.
That'd be perfect. Perfect.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, my man. Have a good one.
Melvin.
All right.
See ya.